Hey guys, welcome to Sauron Takes On! And this time we're going to be talking about DLC. Now, every now and again I get like some DLC characters here and there that I can kind of do like a full video on, sort of. Today we're going to be talking about Min Min from Smash Brothers and Zangetsu not from Smash Brothers, although that'd be awesome. No, he's actually from Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. I reviewed Bloodstained Ritual of the Night a while ago, almost a year ago now, and I don't know when Zangetsu dropped, but Bloodstained was like, hey, we updated, and I'm like, hey, cool, and when we looked at it afterwards, Zangetsu was on there, so I'm assuming it was very recent, but I'm not 100% sure. As for Min Min, yeah, Min Min from Smash Brothers, she dropped on my birthday, which is why everything's running late, because it was my birthday, and, you know, I'm trying to work with that. So, I'm 31 now. Cool. Thanks. And, let's get on with it. Let's take on Min Min and Zangetsu. In that order, actually. We're going to be talking about Min Min first. I am not an avid ARMS player. I've never actually played the game ARMS. It looks to be a 3D fighting game that uses more range-based combat rather than, you know, speed or strength or anything like that. You have different weapons that you can equip, and it looks slower than hell. Yeah, I was not exactly interested. I don't have a script, by the way, guys. I'm just kind of free-versing this. I wasn't exactly interested in ARMS when it came out. It looks unique, don't get me wrong, but it doesn't appeal to me, per se. I'm not a big guy on fighting games other than, you know, Smash Brothers, obviously. And when it comes to fighting games, I prefer the 2D ones over the 3D ones anyway, because the 3D ones just always seem kind of shallow to me. I'm sure ARMS has like a bunch of its fans, and, you know, there was a crap ton of people who were really excited for Min Min to be included in Smash Brothers. And realistically, even though I'm not a fan of ARMS, I'm one of those people. Min Min looks like she could be a really original character. And now that I've had time to play her, yeah, I can say she has been. I've always kind of wanted, when there was an interview somewhere, I can't remember where it was, but Sakurai was talking about how ARMS, by the time ARMS was like on his radar, it was a little late in development, so they made Springman an assist trophy rather than a full-blown character. But, you know, now, obviously, since they're working on DLC, I guess Sakurai was like, hey, we can do a bonus character and we can make an ARMS character in here. Yeah, who do we put in? And it's kind of funny because Springman, despite the fact that he's kind of the mascot of the series, isn't the most popular character from said series. Characters like Twintella, who is a female with like ponytail hair, I'm sure you see her spirit at some point in time in this video. She was very popular, and I'm surprised that she didn't get in. I thought either it was going to be like a whole group of ARMS characters or one specific character, and if it was one specific character, I thought it was going to be Twintella. No, instead it was Min Min, who I can't say I'm shocked either, because Min Min is also a very popular character, so yeah, I'm not really surprised that it was Min Min. But I'm kind of surprised, but I'm not really surprised, if that makes sense. Oh, well. I thought it was going to be Twintella if it was a standalone character, but it turned out to be Min Min, and that's fine. The trailer was absolutely adorable. Captain Falcon helping out with, you know, her noodle shop while she goes and enters into Smash Brothers. And, yeah, her classic mode is the usual foray. You got a bunch of characters with longer arms that kind of all represent different characters from her series. I'm not a big fan of the series, but even I noticed some of these references, like, yeah, I bet you that guy, I bet you Donkey Kong is the mummy, I bet you Rob is the robot with the guard dog and all that jazz. There might have been more references as well, but I'm not sure. The funny part is that the final boss, I thought it was going to be Master Hand and Crazy Hand. I was almost certain it was going to be Master Hand and Crazy Hand, and because not only have all the DLC characters fought Master Hand and or Crazy Hand, but it just makes sense. They're two giant hands. It kind of in a way looks like arms, you know, might be flying out at you or whatever. You know, they use a lot of ranged attacks. No, it's Galam from Brawl. Yeah, it was that boss fight. And I'm like, huh, I was not expecting that. But I suppose it could kind of make sense, because it kind of, if you squint real hard and, you know, distort color in the world, it kind of looks like Max Brass in a way. The final, I think he's the final boss of ARMS. I'm not really sure. He's the champion, reigning champion. He was eventually a DLC character too. Yeah, but that was kind of interesting. As for the spirit battles, they're all pretty easy. I actually beat them all with Min Min. Normally I cannot beat like the 4-star one with the new DLC character. I don't think I'm all that bad with Min Min, honestly, because I've destroyed these guys. I even beat the 4-star one without dying. Yeah, I actually absolutely destroyed him. I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a close battle, but in the end, first try, I managed to actually beat him, and you probably see it here. But it's Min Min is a very fascinating character in and of herself. Her stage is meh. I don't really care much for her stage, but her as a character is very interesting. She has a lot of obviously mid-range, you know, semi-long range attacks. You can change her weapons on the fly, but here's the interesting part. Instead of just having like 4 B moves, and then all of it is mostly A moves, her B and A moves are actually very similar. Obviously up B and down B change from up A to down A. Those are not smash attacks. But if you're doing like side attacks with her B, it represents one arm, and it's the arm that you can kind of change the different armaments. You got a boomerang that can kind of do fire damage. You got this giant wrecking ball looking thing that can do electric damage, and you can have a second dragon if you really want to do and just shoot constant lasers at people. But yeah, her A attacks, she does have an up smash and a down smash, which represent her legs. She does kicking moves with those. And then the B ones, up B is obviously a grappling thing to grab onto the stage, and down B changes her arm on the, I think it's her right arm. I can't remember now, but yeah, those are kind of interesting. It's a very unique fighting style for Smash Brothers. To have smash attacks on both the A and the B button is very unique, but it makes it really fun because you can kind of customize her on the fly. You know, you want more ranged attacks that kind of, you know, fly all over the place. Get the boomerang looking thing. I don't know what these arms are called, so you'll have to forgive me. I think it helps out with aerial combat a bit as well. Or, you know, if you want something that's really slow but really packs a punch, you can get her electric arm. I obviously really like that electric arm. And then if you want something that's kind of, you know, mid-speed, mid-range, but has a bit more long-range oomph to it, you can get the dragon arm. But since one arm already has the dragon arm permanently locked in, I find that I don't use that as much. I would rather go with like the boomerang or the strong arm looking thing, the yellow one, because those are different than her A moves. I use A moves a lot anyway, so I like to use a combination of the dragon arm along with something else. Not another dragon arm, because I can already do most of that with her other arm. So kind of redundant in a way, but it's not like it's a bad thing. I'm sure people get use out of it for sure. But yeah, Min Min is a great character, and I hope she kind of sticks around because I like her fighting style. I don't know if ARMS deserves a straight up spot on Smash Brothers, whether this becomes a really big franchise for Nintendo, or whether it changes fighting games in general. We'll see, but yeah, like I said, we'll see how it goes. But I don't think ARMS was as popular as like something like Splatoon was, so I guess we'll see in the long run. As for Bloodstained Ritual of the Night, that, oh boy, you can now play as Zangetsu, and I don't know, like I said, I might be behind on this. I don't know if Zangetsu was a thing this whole time. Maybe he was a thing for like, a good 5 months and I didn't notice it, or maybe he just dropped. I didn't really research. I just saw that Zangetsu was in the game, and I'm like, oh, I better do an update video on that. So we're pinning it along with the Min Min video because I can only talk about a specific character for so long. I could talk about Smash Brothers costumes, but I didn't really buy them this time around. Vault Boy is cool, but it didn't come with music, so whatever. Anyway, yeah, Zangetsu for Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. As you guys remember, I reviewed it almost about a year ago. It was the season finale, I think, for season 2, and we're in season 3, so obviously, yeah, about a year ago. But, yeah, I already love Bloodstained Ritual of the Night. It didn't have as much to do as other Metrovanias like Hollow Knight, but I think there was a decent amount here to really keep you entertained, and, if you like Symphony of the Night, I hear it's really similar, so there you go. But, you can now play as Zangetsu. He doesn't seem to have any story cutscenes or anything like that. I don't know if they changed up the boss fights. I didn't have a chance to see while I was playing here. But, like, getting to areas is a bit trickier with Zangetsu than it is with Miriam. But, yeah, Zangetsu basically has the whole world opened up to him almost immediately, so that's kind of cool. You can just go through any door at any time. Zangetsu's super strong, so most things go down in a couple of hits. He can charge his sword with different elements. I don't know where I'm showing that in the video, but yeah, at first it looked like it was just a sword and, some throwing knives. Oh, okay, that's cool. But then eventually I learned how to, do a stronger swing, charge up his sword with elementals, which he does in a boss fight at some point in time. Yeah, you can charge it up with fire, ice, electricity. He can heal at save rooms. He is a beast. I can rip through a lot of foes a lot quicker than Miriam. And Miriam has like a whole variety of weapons that you can, pick, but all of them have their weaknesses. Zangetsu just has a katana, but the katana rips through crap like you wouldn't believe. This thing is very versatile, and it's really cool. Like, Zangetsu seems to be a little bit faster than Miriam as well. And he can do the backdash that Alucard has, so that's kind of nice. Also, when you charge up his sword with elemental attacks, you also charge up his throwing knives, which is nice too, giving them a lot of variety. It's an interesting gameplay. I think it's more challenging because you can't like buy healing items or anything like that. Or at least it's supposed to be more challenging, but Zangetsu's such a beast out the gate. Like, if you see, I, tackled the first boss. I destroyed her in like a couple of hits. She was nothing. I just sat there and ripped through her beyond all recognition, so... if you guys know, I like katanas. I actually own several katanas. And, yeah, playing as Zangetsu felt really nice. There might be some bias there, but, the nice thing about Zangetsu, unlike Min Min you have to pay for. Do I think she's worth it? Yeah. A new Smash Brothers character is always, really fun to play as. And these Smash Brothers, these DLC characters have had a lot more work to them. But Zangetsu's actually a free update. I never paid for Zangetsu. He just kind of popped into existence on my game. So if you have Ritual of the Night, you're already going to get Zangetsu. But does it add enough to really sell the game? I think the game can be sold on its own merits. Zangetsu being added later on is nice. But if you have played Ritual of the Night, there you go. There's another reason to go back to it now, if you haven't already gone back to it yet. If you haven't played Ritual of the Night, check out my review. I'll link it down below. But check out my review of Ritual of the Night because it's a pretty good game. It's got that Castlevania love to it, and I think it's worth your time. Having Zangetsu as a bonus does add a lot more replay value. And there was already kind of some, replay value to begin with anyway, so there you go. Like, there's so much to do after the credits rolled in the game, and now there's even more to do. So, that just you know, all it is a nice little bonus, and it is a healthy chunk of a bonus for sure. But yeah, that's all I have time today, guys. I'm stuttering. I don't know why. Probably need more water. My diet's horrible. But that's all the time I have for today, guys, and we'll catch you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.